All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving into some really cool research today.
Yeah, definitely interesting stuff.
It's all about weight loss strategies.
Always a hot topic, right?
Absolutely. And this time, it's not just about what you eat, but when you eat.
Exactly. We're looking at a study published in JAMA Network Open.
Okay, so JAMA Network Open, that's a pretty credible source, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. This study looked at, get this, 29 different clinical trials
Wow.
with over 2,485 participants.
2,485. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely not just some small study.
So they weren't messing around.
Nope.
All right, so what did they find? What's the big deal about when you eat?
Well, it all ties into this thing called circadian rhythms.
Circadian rhythms.
Yeah, like our body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of those.
It turns out these rhythms have a big impact on our metabolism.
It's like how our body processes food.
Exactly. Our bodies are actually better at digesting food at certain times of day.
Makes sense. So, like, late night snacking is probably a no-go.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. Eating late can disrupt our circadian rhythms and mess with our metabolism.
So that midnight ice cream run is out of the question.
Well, let's just say it's not doing you any favors.
Okay. Fair enough. You mentioned metabolism. Could you maybe explain a little more about how that whole process works?
Sure. So basically, metabolism is how our bodies convert food into energy,
That's
right?
right.
And when we eat in sync with our circadian rhythms, everything runs smoothly. But when we eat late at night, we throw a wrench in the system.
Gotcha. So is this where intermittent fasting comes in? I know that's been a big trend.
It is, and this study actually looked at that too.
Did they find anything new?
They found that limiting your eating window to 8 hours or less per day led to some pretty significant weight loss.
8 hours or less. That's like skip breakfast or dinner.
Well, you could adjust the window. Some people do like a 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. window, for example.
Okay, I could see that working.
Yeah, it's all about finding what fits your lifestyle.
Totally. But, not everyone is into the whole structured eating thing. So what about people who aren't ready to try intermittent fasting?
Good point. The study also found that even just reducing the number of meals you eat per day can be helpful.
So like instead of snacking throughout the day, just stick to 3 solid meals.
Yeah. It's all about giving your body a break from digesting and allowing it to focus on other processes.
Interesting. So fewer meals, but what about portion sizes? Do they say anything about that?
The portion sizes matter for sure, but this study really focused on the timing aspect.
Right. Timing over everything else.
Yeah, it seems like when you eat can have a bigger impact than we realized.
Makes you think, huh? I was reading that they found something interesting about people with higher BMIs. Something about how they benefit even more from time-restricted eating.
That's right. The study found that people with higher BMIs saw even greater benefits from time-restricted eating compared to those with lower BMIs.
Wow, so it's like the more you need to lose, the more effective this strategy might be.
It seems that way, yeah. Aligning their eating patterns with their circadian rhythms really had a huge impact on their weight loss journeys.
That's pretty amazing. One thing I liked about the article was that quote from the dietitian, Stephanie Schiff.
Oh, yeah, Stephanie Schiff.
Yeah. She was actually kind of skeptical of the whole thing at first.
Makes sense. A lot of people are.
I know, right? But then she saw the research. She was like, okay, this is
Oh,
legit.
exactly. And what's great about what she says is that it doesn't have to be this crazy restrictive diet.
Yeah, she's not saying you have to cut out all your favorite foods or anything.
It's more about shifting when you eat, not necessarily what you eat.
So like being mindful of those late night snacks we talked about.
Exactly. She recommends avoiding food after 6 or 7 p.m.
Okay, so no more late night pizza for me.
Well, maybe just try to limit it.
We'll try. But why those times specifically? What's so special about 6 or 7 p.m.?
It all has to do with our hormones. You see, cortisol, our get-up-and-go hormone, peaks in the morning. And melatonin, the sleep hormone, starts rising in the evening to help us wind down.
I see.
When we eat late, we mess with those hormone cycles, and it affects everything from our sleep to how well our body processes food.
So it's like our bodies are primed for digestion earlier in the day when cortisol is higher.
Exactly, like a well-oiled machine working at its best.
Fascinating. And what if you can't avoid a late dinner? Like say you have a work event or something.
So Stephanie suggests making lunch your largest meal and then gradually decreasing your food intake as the day goes on.
So like front loading your calories.
Exactly. It's a simple shift, but it can make a big difference.
Simple but effective. I love it. And, even if someone isn't doing strict intermittent fasting, it sounds like this eating earlier in the day strategy can still be helpful.
Absolutely. Even without strict time restrictions, simply consuming most of your daily calories earlier aligns better with our natural metabolic rhythms.
So to recap, it seems like the three big takeaways here are intermittent fasting, eating fewer meals, and front-loading your calories earlier in the day.
That's a great summary. And remember, this isn't just some fad diet. This is all backed by solid research.
Exactly. This is the science talking.
It makes you wonder, how might tweaking when you eat impact your own energy levels and weight management goals?
That's a great question for everyone listening. It might be time to rethink our eating schedules.
Definitely something to consider.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive for today.
It's been a fascinating discussion.
As always, thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember to stay curious and keep exploring the world of knowledge.
See you next time.
Bye.